As is often the case in today's society, uh, a simple meme that floated through my social media circle uh, has caused a long and intense conversation about some very deep subjects. That's the point we're at as a society now, where, we disregard school and education, and yet we push our children to go to school for 20 years so they can become like doctors or scientists or professors, and then spend the rest of their life having everybody ignore them. It's quite the cycle. It was a little capitalism thing, and it came across my desk. And it appears that even though all this high grade shit is going on right now, with the hijacking of the post office and schools being forced to reopen and the pandemic thing that, gosh darn it, just won't go away, it seems that I have to take a step back and have a very simple 101 class with everybody today. So, allow me to begin class. Yes, this simple meme caused a whole bunch of people to melt down and lose their shit. Look, the workers are happy. We made this. The capitalist is like, yeah, you made this. It's awesome. And then the workers all go away and the capitalist goes, I made this. And people lost their shit because I keep forgetting that everybody thinks they're a capitalist. And so we're going to have this quick conversation, and you'll have a little something to pass along to your friends when they say something ridiculous like, but without capitalism, we wouldn't have stuff. So there's this ridiculous belief amongst the working class that because you live in a capitalist system and thus you participate in capitalism, whether you want to or not, that somehow makes you a capitalist. Number one, I assure you that's not a thing. Just because, you participate in capitalism or a capitalist pays your paycheck, that doesn't make you a capitalist. It makes you somebody who's forced to exist within a capitalist system, whether you would like to or not. Now, I had a really long, flowery diatribe planned about this. It has to do with the fact of, private property, literally means property that's owned in conjunction with the government, because, you can't actually own land. Like, y'all know that, right? Like, you can't buy land and go, look, I own land. Like, you can't buy a piece of the United States of America and now you own it. Like, you own it in conjunction with the United States of America. Like, you should really read what an ownership deed looks like for real estate. Like, the state owns that property. You don't own it. You own the right to develop it. You own the right to profit from it. You own the right to reside upon it, and you own the right to control what does and does not happen upon it, as long as it doesn't break the law. But it's still the government's land. So we're gonna bypass the whole private property conversation, and we're going to talk about the very simple relationship between capital and labor. And Bree Newsom Bass had a beautiful breakdown of this. I don't know who needs to hear this, but you're not a capitalist. You're a salaried employee working in an industry owned by an actual capitalist. People keep confusing simple commerce, which has always existed, with capitalism, which is a specific type of economy. Yeah, I hear this often. Oh, but without capitalism, how would you buy bread? Like, you do know people made bread and acquired bread long before there were capitalists that were investing capital in industries, right? Like that bread predates capitalism. Please tell me you know that. Oh God, I hope you know that. Folks swear up and down they are capitalists and don't actually own anything. The people who have the power to repossess your belongings if you miss a payment are the true capitalists. You are a worker and a consumer trying to be in false class solidarity with billionaires. I know John Oliver did a piece on this like 8 years ago, and I think it's still the most viewed video out of all his videos, which is the one where he explains that America basically has two classes. It's the capitalist class, and then everybody else who are like temporarily embarrassed soon to be billionaires. Like everybody believes that if they participate in capitalism and they sell their labor, that they can become capitalists. It doesn't make you a capitalist. Okay? If you want to be a capitalist, number one, you have to acquire capital. And then number two, you have to take that capital and expend it in lieu of labor. You invest your capital instead of your labor. And instead of your labor earning you money or profit, your capital earns you profit without you having to expend labor. Okay? That's what capitalism is. Capitalism isn't, I'm going to go get bread. like, all these things existed. Commerce existed, trade existed, barter existed, production of goods existed. People thought of ideas long before there was capitalism. Okay, capitalists are secondary in the pyramid of capitalism. Okay, without capital, laborers could still go out and labor and trade their labor or the fruits of their labor for things that they need. If you're a capitalist and you have a tremendous amount of capital and you have no labor, you can't produce anything. You can't build anything. You can't manufacture anything. You're literally pointless. You're just a person with a whole bunch of ones and zeros on a fucking zip drive. Like, you have no purpose. You bring nothing to the table. Capital should be secondary in the whole process. Labor predates capital. Without labor, there would be no capital. Ergo, without labor, capital is pointless. Capitalism needs labor. Capitalists within capitalism need labor. Labor does not need capital. Capital makes everything go quicker, but capital is not necessary. And then I just want to get to one last point. And I'm hoping this little breakdown helped you. I mean, it's a very, very basic, small nugget, but I feel like apparently like the 101 has gone away because we've gotten to that point where words have no meaning anymore. Everybody who wears shoes is a capitalist. No, I need shoes. Oh, capitalism built your computer that you're recording this on. No, labor built this computer. Like these are very basic precepts that I think people need to digest and roll through their head a few times. Like, you're not an economist and you're not a capitalist. You're a laborer. You sell your labor to a capitalist. He's the capitalist, okay? You're the laborer. For the love of God, stop cheerleading for the capitalists. They don't need your support. They're doing just fine on their own.